My baby that's coming over the value. Equate the lyrics to sex. Let your ears climax. Let the track release all your stress. I am the star from that 410 with a vacant house. It's my homie back door. Junkies know his back door. All right, y'all. So this another episode of my little show that I'm doing. You know, I'm giving y'all some realness on love and relationships in the LGBT community. So my next person that I'm going to be interviewing is DS Star, homie from around the way, 2100 a day. We ready to get this thing popping. Give me one moment here. Say what's up to the people.
What up, people? My beautiful melanated people, non-melanated people, LGBT people.
Right. All right, so we're going to definitely get this little conversation popping here.
All right.
So, tell me your intake on dating in the LGBT community.
Complicated.
Why you say that?
I say it's complicated because on a number of levels. Like, one thing recently, I've been single for 3 years. I was in my relationship for 7.
Wow.
Yeah, engaged and all that. But since I've been single recently, I've noticed that there's a lot of people that stick within the spectrum of people they know. So
Okay.
It seems like people are recycling each other, you know, and I think that's what causes a lot of drama, a lot of rumors. And then I also find that we discriminate within each other.
True. I can agree.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like we both females, you feel me? So if a dom want to mess with a dom, then let it be. At the end of the day, they're still females. So you're discriminated on them because they are 2 females that dress like dudes. But that's the same thing as if they were a femindom. At the end of the day, when they take their clothes off, they still a female.
Yes.
And I've seen that a lot. And I'm like, first of all, you can't help who you fall in love with.
Yes. I agree.
So I definitely agree with that. It's a lot of that.
It's a lot, and I think a lot of that connections kind of came from sports and stuff, you know, because if you all wearing the same uniform, so it's not really looking at like, you know, so you meeting them on different levels, interacting on different levels, so the conversation's gonna be the same. The activity changes, the communication, you know.
Right.
But dating, I still look at it as fun. Because women are complicated. We are very complicated.
Very.
You know? But one thing I've learned from that is that because I realized that I was a person that discriminated until I got older and really realized like I was living based off all the perceptions that other people had on us.
True.
Before I fully accepted myself.
Right.
Then once I fully accepted myself, I realized, man, if you don't understand it, leave it alone.
That's true. But you know, a lot of this, when we're younger, we don't look at all aspects of what we're getting into when we first come out and we're starting to, you know, date within the LGBT community. We don't really be worried about all that. We just like, I know for me, it was like, oh shit, I got all the girls looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this, that, and the third. And it's not until you get older until you realize that things aren't really what you perceive them to be.
Yeah.
And you got to start making like your own decisions on where you want to go at and what you want to be and what you're going to settle for within relationships with people.
Yeah, and that for me it kind of brings up like I mean for me I felt very lonely before I really came out, and then I felt lonely before I really accepted myself with it. But then like with everything you just said, once you accept yourself and then you trying to realize who you are, where you want to be at, who you want to be, you also got to deal with the loneliness of not settling.
Right.
Because if you decide to stand firm and be like, well, this is what I want, and this is also what I need. A lot of people that you first come across in the LGBT community may not fit that spectrum.
True.
And we try to kind of mesh together because it's like we're in the same community. But like we were saying earlier, like we all people is the same thing as far as heterosexuals. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because they're heterosexual, I mean y'all gotta get along. Because the way that he may be a misogynist, you know, while the next guy is a gentleman. So it's like they don't mesh well. But
right.
the same way, I've been had my own problems when it comes to being around other dominant women because I'm automatically perceived as just being straight dominant.
Right.
And you know how it's different women that walk around with their strap on.
Right.
And then I'm like, nah, I like me, you know, I like
Right.
I got, you know, so it kind of causes a thing where, in my personal situation, they felt offended as if I felt some type of way that they did that. So it was like a lack of understanding, and it's hard for me. That's when I started realizing, like, why? If you already knew how hard it was to be accepted in the beginning, why you gotta take that and put it on the next person that's struggling with the same stuff
Right. True.
that you were struggling with? So I think that comes with relationships too, though.
True.
You know.
I think that, I know for me, and I had this conversation before, I knew I wanted to date females at a young age. Like, I was in middle school. But instead of me understanding what I wanted and being determined to be what I want to be, I did what everybody else wanted me to do. I tried dating the guy thing. Didn't work for me. But I only did it because, one, the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Two, because again, I thought that's what my grandmother would have wanted me to do. Did you like have a similar situation like that?
All right. So when did I remember my mother moved, and I remember I used to be in the basement watching TV and stuff. And I used to act like I was on the phone, but every time I acted like I was on the phone, it would always be like I'm talking to a girl. I swear. So I'm like, oh, it just seemed like I was talking to a girl. And then, man, bro, so everybody knew my father, but
Right.
one day he sat down with me and my brother at your own bed, and he was like, well, if any one of y'all was ever be gay, I'll kill y'all. Like, all the rip. He was like, I'm going to jail. So that kept me from even trying to even talk about it.
Right.
Even
Because the perception was already there. You like, I gotta be what he want me to be, because I ain't
trying to die.
right. But the crazy thing for me is that I never that part never happened with me. So my mom never said anything. My grandmother never said anything. To be honest, I lived my whole middle school years, high school years as what everybody else wanted me to be. And everybody used to ask me this question, are you gay because your mom's gay? Hell no. To be quite honest, she gave me the confidence to come out, because when she came out, she waited till we was 18, first of all. So it wasn't like she sprung on us while we were growing up. When we was 18, she, started making it abundantly clear this is her lifestyle. And that gave me the confidence to come out. And then I saw that my grandmother didn't treat her any different. So that was my go ahead to be like, well, I know my grandmother's not going to treat me any different because she ain't treat my mother no different. And my grandmother accepted me wholeheartedly. My grandmother was a Christian, and she still is a Christian. And I remember finding a passage in her Bible where she said that although she didn't agree with our lifestyle, she would never reject us, but she would always pray for us.
Yes.
You feel me? And that made the whole difference.
Yes.
With me coming out living a lifestyle. And I've been openly gay since I was 20. I'm 37.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack. Listen, I tell people that all the time. They be like, you 37? Yes, I'm 37. I'm like, you look at my mother, you wouldn't think she was my mom, but she's my sister. Yeah. You feel me? I get it all the time. So, and I remember having conversations with people and hearing people say that exact same thing. If my son or my daughter was ever to be gay, I would disown them. And my thing is, why would you want your child to fight not just society, but you? That's why we have so many kids committing suicide, because they afraid to come out because of shit like that people say. And I don't think that's right.
And I love that you said that, because I think that's a catalyst of the depression, the anxiety, the stress, and the suicidal elements of the LGBT community. A lot of it stems from our home, because when you're not able to have that open dialogue in your home first, now you're walking around with this hidden truth in yourself.
Right.
With the people you eat with, starve with, whatever it may be. because nobody know what the other elements or conditions are in your household.
Right. And then you're walking around not being your true self. You're walking around every day with a mask on, basically,
Yes.
because you can't reveal your true self to the people who supposed to love you and care for you and support you no matter what. And it's like, and it's always because of something that you overheard somebody say. So, and then when you bring it up to them, it's always, well, I didn't mean it towards you because I didn't know. But just because you didn't know doesn't mean that you should still feel comfortable with saying that, because just because you didn't know,
Yeah.
that's more reason for you not to say something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the environment of, and that's why I be like, before I say certain things, sometimes, because I'm not crazy at times, but the environment, you got to look around and see who's actually there. And then even with kids being in the bedroom, or people be asking like, why kids are so grown? Well, it's the environment. Your socialization agents. However it happens, and it's like a lot of people don't know, if you just give a person the opportunity to express to you how they feel and why they feel that way, that'll take a lot of that away. That'll alleviate so much pressure we put on ourselves. Because, as I got older, I realized I put a lot of that pressure on myself because I didn't know no better.
Right.
Because I started hiding, dating. I started dating 14, but I was hiding.
Same thing I did.
Yeah.
I heard it from everybody. My best friend and them was like, so why you ain't tell us that you was dating this female? And I'm like, fuck, how y'all find that out?
Yeah.
They like, oh, we know people who know what's going on. And I'm like, and then I had to like sit down and explain to them how I felt. And then I can remember, like, the first person I told was Jita. And she like, man, I already knew. I was waiting for you to tell me.
When people say that, like, yo, we already knew.
Right? Like, and I'm just like, but I feel like back then when I was coming up, it wasn't so socially accepted to be gay. Now it's like everybody wants to be gay, but they don't understand the consequences that come along with being gay, because there's so much discrimination when you're gay, that especially being a lesbian, it's like it's just crazy, because I know that I've actually been in situations where I had sexual harassment cases on me just because somebody didn't like me because of my sexual preference. And happened to go through that, happened to have somebody tear down your character because they don't like your sexual preference. And the workplace at that is a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And then they wonder why people in the LGBT community have anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. It comes along with being gay.
Yeah, and you know what? Before I got to this point in my life, like I said, probably like 2 years ago, I would not date bisexual women.
I loved it.
You did? It's like, in my mind, it's like, yo, if I put in this time with you the whole time, this was a phase for you. But then I had to get to the point now where I realized being bisexual don't mean that, I'm only going to mess with a woman for this amount of time that I'm going to go to with you.
Right.
It's more so depending on the mindset of the person you're messing with.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. It's like, and that's why it takes time to actually learn people's characters.
Right.
See where they get, because just because they're being bi, you just like both.
Right. And for me, first of all, I feel like I personally don't like labels. I hate labels. Don't label me. I am who I am. I'm Tasha, point blank, period. Don't label me as anything else, because I feel like everybody feels like they have to be put into some kind of category, but that's not the case. Just because I'm a lesbian doesn't mean that I like certain sexual things, and I may not like other sexual things. At the end of the day, when my clothes come off, I'm still a female, and sometimes I may want to just be treated just as that. And then you have females who haven't been in a life as long as we have, and may have just be coming over from a guy, and they don't know the sexual body of a female because they haven't really.
That's a difficult part for me.
Man, listen. But that's when you gotta, right? But that's when you gotta make the determination if you want to actually take that route with that person, especially if they're bisexual, because not all females that are bisexual want to indulge in that type of intimacy.
I can't do it. can't do it.
Most if you ask me, and it's just my opinion, most bisexual females have a hard time with intimacy because they mess with a guy.
Which is horrible though.
It is.
It's horrible because I have predominantly, honestly, I really don't have a LGBT social aspect.
Me neither.
Yeah, I just grew up around the same people I grew up with my whole life.
Right.
You know, I don't go to LGBT events like that or nothing. I just started doing it at 25 years old.
And it's crazy to me because if I do go, like if I go to Pride, I used to go to Pride every year. I haven't went in the last couple of years, but it's like the fact that y'all like the fact that everybody knows everybody and you mess with that person. I'm happy that I'm not known in the gay community.
Yes.
Like you can never go to 6 people and say, "Yo, you know her." No, I don't know her. I ain't never seen her around. I'd rather keep it like that. I don't need to be, just because I'm a lesbian doesn't mean that I have to be in that limelight. That's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't need to be socially accepted by everybody because I'm a lesbian. That's not for me.
And also with that is like I had that communication with somebody before. I feel like some people like, yo, how are you a lesbian and you don't have no gay friends? Well, I just haven't been able to really be friends. I mean, I haven't been in that environment.
But who says you have to have because you're gay you have to have gay friends?
Right. And it's crazy to me because it's like people somewhat make it feel like it's a gang. Like, yo, I'm a lesbian, or I'm gay, or I'm a transsexual, so I have to hang with them. Like, nah, you hang with them.
That ain't, everybody don't want to be a part of that life. Everybody don't want to go in the club and everybody know them. Like,
I don't like that.
I'm an introvert, to be honest. I used to be one of those type of people that wanted to be seen and wanted to go out this, that, and the third. Now, I'll stay home, get me a book, and watch me some TV. I don't need that. I did all that. I did the drinking, that hanging out all night, messing with this and that girl. That's not me no more. I live my life with doing that. Now, I'm more so I'm still trying to find and heal me so I can be that person that my future wife needs me to be.
And I figured that out about myself once I got out my last relationship. Like, once I got out my last relationship, it was like, I was like, dang, I need to get out. You know, because I never like really went, like, I go out with my friends, but it's
Right.
I was 18 when I got with my ex. And so it was like, you know, being 18 and 25 is over. You know, it's kind of like really finding yourself.
Right.
Because, and I had this conversation with one of my best friends, Joseph. That's kind of like, you know, you get so used to being with this person, you really don't know how to be without them.
Attachment.
Man, that's man. Boy. To the point where so you start dating these other people, you don't even really know how to date them.
True, because it's the aspect of starting all over again after having a long-term relationship sucks, because you're going through the process of one, healing yourself,
Yes.
putting yourself out there to be vulnerable again, and then trying to figure out if you actually like this person, and then maybe 2 days in you're like, nah. And you like, do I really want to even go back to the drawing board, or do I want to try to fix things with my ex? Like,
I'm still going back and forth with that. Like, I just ended up in this premature relationship, and I had to get out of it because I realized, like, yo, this is just the premature relationship I'm doing because I think I've then dealt with everything in the past.
right,
You know, and then I had to, once I did break away from that, I had to also realize it really wasn't about breaking away from the past. She just wasn't who I wanted.
right.
You know, so it was like I had to learn a lot about myself. Like that woke me up a hell of a lot to the point now currently where like I just don't want to date. You know, I'm just not dating. I feel as though like if it happens then cool, but until I know with my family and my friends.
It's to me, it's like it takes so much out of you because first of all, I'm not the chasing type. I'm not chasing you. First of all, you feel me? And if I make it known that I have an interest in you, and you feel like, or you may not even be doing it intentionally, but if you're making me feel like I gotta chase you, we're just gonna remain friends because I ain't about that chase life. I'm too old to be doing that.
And I don't understand that. You know, I feel like people listen to all these of how dating's supposed to be, and I feel like people listen to how queens are supposed to be treated, kings are supposed to be treated. This is a working relationship, man.
50-50. Well, yeah, 50-50. I'm gonna say 50-50.
Yeah, because what I might like, and you may have that, you know.
Right.
And you may have to teach me.
Right.
You know? But you have to also be open to being taught.
But there's a lot. What I've noticed is that there are far more hurt females these days that have not yet healed from the past hurt in their past relationships or their past life. And I've also noticed that a lot of their trust insecurity issues and their hurt comes from people within their family.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to come out of their shell and allow someone else to do these things for them or to try to love them the way they should be when they haven't forgiven the people who hurt them the most. And until they heal that part of them, they can never be what they need to be for them or for anybody else.
And it's hard because you do gotta learn to like let some people go because of that. Like I had to learn it about myself. Like there's a lot of things that I'm still battling with. Like I've learned how to focus on things to not allow it to affect how I feel.
Right.
But then you have those moments when something that happened and then it take you mentally straight back to that situation. Those flashbacks is what really, even like with the past funeral we had in the family.
Right.
I'm sitting there, I'm really emotional because now I'm thinking about everybody else that didn't die.
Right.
It's not just about the person that's in the casket now. Now it's like, man.
Right.
Over and over. So it's sort of like you said, all this damage you had from, I could be dating somebody and then they could do something that reminds me of my ex. Oh,
Right.
No.
And then you like, no, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
What I could say is that I had one relationship where Shorty was hurting herself, and she was also trying to heal her hurt, but she was also pointing stuff out to me that I wasn't ready yet to hear. And it was like, when a broken person doesn't believe they're broken, you can't tell them that they need to heal things. And I wasn't ready to hear any of what she was saying, and I battled with her, and I fought everything she said to me to the T until she decided to walk away. And at that point, even when she walked away from me, I was still making it about me when it really wasn't about me. She walked away because it was too toxic, and I wasn't ready to heal myself in a way that I would be helping me and helping her. So it took me a while to actually understand what she was saying to me, just because I started like working on my own growth, reading books and stuff like that. And then I would notice things in the book that I would understand about myself, and then remember that she pointed those same things out to me and be like, damn, Shorty was right. But it wasn't until I was ready to hear it, understand it, and then do something about it. And even if it's too late for anything to happen, what needed to happen happened because my eyes was open to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like at times, when it's right, and it'll hit you when it's supposed to hit you. Like everything has its own time, and when it's time for us to understand certain things, it'll just happen for us.
So let me ask you this: when you got to that realization, right? Did you ever feel a need to be like, man, I should reach out to her? Maybe
I did, but I didn't want to. I reached out to apologize for what I failed to see back then. I wasn't sure. I was battling whether or not, when I actually did reach out to her, whether or not I wanted to make it work, because I feel like we was toxic when we was together. Although we both may be in two different places now, it was like, do you really want to reach out and try again and maybe fail again? You know what I mean? Like, because it wouldn't be the first time, it wouldn't be the second time. But every single time that we've probably tried, we've both been in different spaces, and it's always been a constant evaluation where we've came from one place. We're steadily moving up, but we're still not just right to where we could possibly be together. So, like I said, I reached out to her. I apologized for not being what she needed me to be at the time, but I didn't mention anything about us getting back together. So, and I didn't even think she would respond. She responded, and it was just like I took it for what it was and let it be what it was. Like I didn't read anything else into it. I didn't reach back out. I just let it be. I feel like that. I feel like Everything happens when it's supposed to, and if it's meant to be, it'll be. If not, I did my part.
Yeah, and I asked that because of what you were saying, and I always struggle with also dating women with kids.
That's gonna be another question I have, because I feel the same. Me personally, my only thing is that I just don't like to get caught up with the whole kid thing, because if we break up and I got a bond with this kid and you take this kid away from me for your own selfish reason, that's a double heartbreak. We've lost each other, and then I also lose this kid too. So I get it.
Yeah.
Before you even say anything, I get it.
Yeah, like it was, whew, you know, like when I moved back here from Atlanta, and I'm meeting this girl, and she had a kid. So I'm like, man, I always said I ain't taking no wild chick. Man, I ain't dating no kid, no chick with no kid. Man, I ended up being her first shorty she dating, and she got a kid. But I couldn't stop talking to her. Like I just couldn't stop talking.
Right, something drawed you to her.
Yeah, you know. So that was all in the beginning. That was already a battle.
Right.
Starting from the beginning on her end, because it's like she don't really know what she getting herself into.
Always the case.
You know, and then on my end, like, man, you were going against everything
That you said.
Like, hey, you a walking contradiction.
But it's something pulling you towards it, and it's
Yeah.
making you want to test the waters to see if you can do it. It's always the case.
Yeah, and things building up, and then, you know, I did some fucked up shit. It's no other way to put it, because it was like, we get into it one day, and her being immature about it, trying to make me mad. Like, well, I should just take this dude up on his offer and go on a trip with him. I said, wow.
Right. And that's and see, with bisexual females, I feel like you don't do that to us.
Yes.
Because that's the number one thing you never do. You never bring a dude up in a conversation with your lesbian girlfriend or your lesbian spouse mate, whatever you want to call it, because we're instantly going to have an attitude, because one, we already taken the biggest chance ever because you're bisexual.
Yes.
So, and we know we don't have the same equipment that a guy has, and clearly you like both. So at any point in time, you can go do your thing, and we would never fucking know.
Women, we slide like a fox. Here. Like,
Sneaky as shit,
you know
yo.
what I'm saying? So it's like, we women, so we automatically know what we can do.
True.
You know, so it's like, by her saying it to me, and this is my first time dealing with it, it was like when I say I was so mad, I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, what the fuck? And I started thinking I had to talk to my friends, my male friends, and they was like, man, it would be the same vice versa. If I was dating a chick, and she's bi, and she was to say, well, I should have just took her up on her offer and went on a trip with her.
Right.
They'd feel the same. It would be the explosive type of anger inside of you, and then it brings in elements of doubt,
Right.
of insecurity, and it just made me do some fucked up shit. And then it was like, afterwards, it's kind of like, yo, that was some asshole
Shit.
But it's too late now.
Right.
I already went there. So then it's going through it felt like I was with this girl for 3 years, and it was 6 months.
Wow.
You know?
I'm gonna be honest. The ones that aren't straight lesbians be the hardest ones. To me, they the hardest relationships to deal with. I mean, that's just what it is. That's how I feel.
I was, my mind, even to the point where as though I get to break away from her. She takes the dude call she talking to, at me, and brings it to my house, and it's just like, this is just too much. Right.
And now it's time for me to break away, because I'm not going to let you put me in a situation that's going to bring me out my character.
Yeah. Then she bring a daughter with her, and it's like, it's just too much, you know? And then it was like, recently I brought it up because recently, like last week, she made a status about something on Facebook. And I just got back on Facebook, so
Right.
And it compelled me to just want to apologize to her. So that's why when you said that, I was like, I made it public on her page. I ain't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, I got to the point where I'm mature enough about it. You know, and I just apologize for everything. You know,
Did she respond?
Yeah, the thing is, we'll still talk here and there.
Okay.
But I think it's dangerous waters because she had a sex buddy, right? A male that I took her from when we got together.
Okay.
You know, but she went right back to him once I broke away from her.
Typical.
Yeah, it's like, yo, this shit is crazy. This is what we dealing with.
Yeah.
It's like,
When you
I'm
dealing,
for this.
that I would say I haven't dated a well. A lot of females these days don't consider themselves bisexuals though because they don't have a preference in what they want. So whether or not it's transgender, whether or not it's a lesbian,
Asexual though, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So they don't have a preference, and I don't really know like.
How to go about that, man?
Yeah, because like to me, I'm like, all right, so who my competition?
There's always an element of competition. Even when reading a book, who gonna finish faster? Like it's a competition in life. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Like I just need to know: is it a nigga? Is it a bitch? I mean, I need to know because I mean, if I need to step my game up, I need to step my game up. But
if you worth it, I'm gonna do what I need.
yeah,
to do.
definitely, if you worth it, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to show you that I'm the one that you should be with.
Yeah.
But if you ain't giving me no type of leeway to tell me anything, like damn, am I even in the running?
Yeah.
Like I mean,
And you know what you're saying, and that's another problem I'm having with dating as well. It's some women that just want you to take the lead 24/7. For me, I'm sorry, I'm still a chick, baby. Pay for me, do something.
listen, I was just having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine. Like, listen, I'm always the type where I'm buying the balloons. I'm doing the just because gifts. I'm showing up at your job with things and you got the tears rolling and I'm giving you tickets and nigga, call me and say, babe, put your good shit on. We going out to dinner. You feel me? Or just, hey, I'm about to pull up. Come get in the car. We gonna go take this ride or something. Or I come home. You got the little sexy outfit on. You feel me? Got the candles and stuff. Like, man, listen. I'm not about to be always trying to make the first move to do anything. Like at some point, I'ma chill and I'ma let you show me what it is you want. But a lot of females don't know how. A lot of females are not used to dealing with aggressive females. So because they're either used to being the aggressive one, but not in the sense of when it comes to like doing intimate things. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that being intimate doesn't necessarily mean being sexual.
Yes. Like stimulate my mind, baby. Like I like that. I would love if I randomly come to work and you had flowers delivered for me. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Or for instance, for me, I'm a big book person. So if you hear me saying, "Damn, I want this book," I come home and the book is sitting there with a card. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Oh shit, what the hell is that?" Or I'm a tennis shoe freak. I'm like, "Hey, damn, I want these tennis shoes." I come home, the tennis shoes is already here. You feel me? And I'm like,
just show me I'm worth something besides what I do for you.
But I've dated a lot of females that don't know because they're either used to dating somebody who always does it for them and they don't necessarily have to do it for their spouse, or it's like I said, they get intimacy messed up with sex, and that's not like we could sit in the bed, have some slow music on, had the candlelights on, but we could just be having a conversation. You feel me? It does not mean that we have to be having sex.
I like picnics. You know what I'm saying? I like that type of stuff. So it's, I don't know, like we could go get a massage together. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be the smallest things, but like you said, a lot of people don't know that. Like they'll take what the last person did from their relationship and be like, well, I deserve this. And maybe you really didn't deserve it. The other person was just doing it to keep you around.
True.
And a lot of people misconstrue that as well. Like some of us actually really know our worth. And by knowing your worth, you also got to know you got to put out what you want back.
Right.
And it's like, no, I'm not asking you to blow your bank on me. But it can be something small, like just get candles, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You give me a massage, I give you a massage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's plan a movie night. You know,
Right.
make my favorite food, buy my favorite snacks.
Right, man. We can just sit in the bed and eat junk food and just be
Yeah.
head to head watching the movie. Like, it's
It's
so
a
much.
small thing.
It's so much more to relationships than just having sex, moving in together, and saying, "Oh, we doing big things." No, man, that's not. It's so much more to it. Like, just sitting there talking in on in about any and everything, you know. For me, I am stimulated by a female's mind. So if I could be like, oh, did you read that book? And they like, oh yeah, I read that book. That book was awesome. You know, so I'm like, oh well, tell me a book that I can go get that I can read, or we can actually sit down and have a conversation about politics, religion, and it's a shown off conversation where you got my whole attention. I'm like, damn.
All right, so I come across this chick. She was older than me. Great job, foundation, and all that, right? So I'm like, how the hell is she single?
What was the catch?
So we talking, you know, I'm random. You know, I'm random as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we start getting into politics, and then we get into slavery. And she's like, she's black. She's like, I wish black people just leave that slavery stuff alone. She said, I don't believe in discrimination. I don't believe in prejudice.
How? But you're black. And we're still living in a time when it's still modern day slavery. It's just not the slavery that our ancestors had to go through. Look at the shit that's going on in the news right now. Like, I knew it was a catch.
I automatically, and this is at us talking.
She on some Kanye shit.
Yup. I automatically go, baby, this ain't gonna work, baby.
Nah.
This ain't gonna work. And then we even tried to get through that, and it was just like, I couldn't get that out my head. Like, how can you be so naive? Is it because you were able to make it from where you started from? So you think because you made it that everybody else?
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
And just because you got as far as you got doesn't mean that you still can't experience that at the height of your career or your life. It's being done every day. We see it every day.
Yeah.
It's in our face every day.
Yeah. And
So
to be that ignorant, and to me that's ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me that's like some, you know, white privilege stuff where it's though, look man, I got it, you can get it too. But it's really not that simple. Maybe you had people that helped you play your cards right.
right,
Some people don't have people to lead them the right way.
right.
But like, I just couldn't deal with it. Like, when I say that turned me off, it disregarded.
I probably would have got up and walked out the door
Yeah.
when she's
Yo,
yo, because
I
it's
was so mind blown. I still can't believe that it came out of her mouth. You know?
man, listen, I would have been beyond pissed.
Yeah.
Like you that ignorant. Like I can't believe it.
Yeah. I was like, it just got to the point where I was like, it don't even seem like it'd be worth trying
To get just to get past that.
Yeah. It's not, because it's like, if you feel that way about that, imagine other stuff.
And this brings me to another question. This seems to be a popular question with that I asked in my first interview, that I got a lot of feedback about it. And I said this was a question I was going to ask at every interview just to see how people respond to it, what their opinions are. So when we talk about spirituality,
Yeah.
one, do you think that it plays a part in who you date? And let's say she's a Christian, but you're not. So she believes in God, but you don't. Do you think that the relationship could be successful with y'all not having the same religion outlook on it?
I think it's based on the individual
Okay.
and their mindset. And I say that because I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. But I've dated an atheist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've dated a Christian, and I'm just like, for me, back then, I wasn't strong enough to set foot in the church, hear the pastor say what he say, feel like he was talking to me, and not feel the way and not get angry and not feel like I was being attacked. At this point in time in my life, I could care less. First of all, I don't step foot in churches anyway, because I don't have a religion either. I'm not with the whole Christian thing, the Baptist thing, none of that, you know. I feel like love is all we need, you know, and I have my views on it, but just because you feel a different way than me doesn't mean that I can't deal with you. Long as you're open,
Yeah.
we can rock with it. But if like I make a comment and you feel some kind of way because of the comment that I make, that means that you're not as open as you say you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna still have my own opinion about the religion that you're in, but I'm not gonna say, well, babe, we can't be together if you believe in God and I don't. You know what I mean? But my first interviewer was like, nah, it ain't gonna work. I don't see how it's gonna be successful.
Well, I look at it like this. It depends because most religions, the aspect of it is to be open and loving to everybody.
True.
And if you skip over that, then we're not working.
But you know, with Christians, they feel like we are the biggest sin out there.
Look, this how I got my mother's mother, right? Man, do you know you're going to hell? I said, Grandma, don't forget. Like, cause my thing is, I said, but I literally started off with, doesn't it say in the Bible, the King James version, that no sin is greater than the other?
I say that all the time.
She said, yeah. I said, so doesn't that mean that gambling is the same as stealing?
Mm-hmm.
Stealing is the same as adultery?
Adultery.
You know, and heterosexual shit, they cheat. Like,
They cheat more than anybody else. You got your side piece over here. Listen, the pastors are in the church sleeping with the deaconess and the first lady. Like, come on. And then I feel like with that, I'm like, your pastor is still a man. They're still human. Y'all put too much on them for them to be above everybody, and that's not fair. At the end of the day, he's still human. He's still going to look. He's still going to do what he's going to do. You feel me? But my thing is that no, like you said, no sin is bigger than the next. If that was truly what I believed in, then we are going. Then who's actually living right by the way of the Bible?
All of us are going to die with sin. So that's why I believe, like, yes, there's a higher power. But if we were all put here, different faces, different races, languages, everything, from little to big, you know, like you said, it's communication, love, understanding. You have to understand that I'm different from you.
Right.
You know, but I don't think a lot of people can deal with somebody being different than them.
Right.
And I think that's where the biggest misunderstanding comes in life. You know, whether it's sexually, academically, religiously, but religion, look how messed up America is.
Right now.
And this is a Christian state.
Right.
You know, is we're the biggest hypocrites in the world.
Speak it.
You know, so is truly. I get disheartened a lot because it's like, how can we be so advanced and so behind?
True.
You know, and it trickles down to everything. I think like now it's like people don't care about love anymore.
True.
People don't care about relationships.
True.
People don't care about loyalty. You know, people are not dedicated to having other people be happy.
Yeah.
You know, and people like women be choosing. Everybody choosing. Whether it's sexually, romantically, friendship-wise, family-wise, everybody choosing.
Right.
You know, and I really wish that religion taught love more, just like I wish that school taught how to balance checkbooks and
True.
you know how to.
They're really not setting these kids up to progress when they get older. Yeah, that's where we are. And it's sad.
It's
But it also starts at home. Just because the school ain't teaching your kid what they need to know don't mean you can't. It's two parts to everything.
But people don't like looking at their own faults.
That's true. That is true.
That's why I had to take a long look at myself, like, why am I having such a shitty time dating?
I always tell everybody it starts with yourself. Once you heal and fix yourself, the love you seek will also seek and find you.
And that's why, like, I told myself, now I'm gonna just chill. maybe my karma messed up right now. You know, I need to chill, get myself together, get myself all the way together, because I believe in karma. I believe what you put in this world is gonna come back. The negative. That's why I couldn't date nobody negative. I couldn't date a person and see the glass is half empty.
Right. Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
Like,
you.
baby, I'm gonna be down some days. You gotta lift me up. You don't get down with me.
Right.
Yeah, don't put the dirt over us. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Throw some wood up on there. You know.
Right. Right.
So dating is complicated, but I'm optimistic about it.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it because there's 7 billion people in the world, man. You know, and I just really look at dating as though what would be great for me is just having somebody to know that everything's not gonna be okay all the time.
Right.
I'm not gonna make you happy all the time.
But we gonna get through that though.
That's the biggest thing. You know.
All right. Well, listen, we done went way beyond time,
Oh, shit.
but it was definitely a good interview.
Yeah.
You definitely got to come back. I'm actually going to do a round table with different minds, different opinions,
Yeah.
and we're going to rock out. It's going to be lit.
That sounds good.
So I'm inviting you back. I will definitely let you know when the time will be. And for all my viewers out there, I hope y'all enjoyed the interview. Comment, subscribe, like,
Yeah.
and be ready for the next one. Peace.